Check. 1 2 1 2. Beta games in the building. Let me make sure my levels are good. Let me make sure. Let me turn the background classic off. All right, Vader games in the building. You know what it is. 115, the newest episode. All right, newest episode. I've been messing around with it. We got another question to answer, and as you can see, I got a series of other questions to get to as this show continues on. But I want to shout out and I want to show love to everybody that's been a part of this whole journey, this whole conversation. Now, it's going to be short and sweet. I'm going to start the timer, and on point, I'm going to speak. And what I'm going to do a little different, because again, this show, it's evolving, it's adjusting, right? Unlike some other managers, I got a plan B, I got a plan C. So the input, the feedback, even the comments on the channel as well as directly have been tremendous. I'm going to make sure that this show in particular is 15 minutes. I know I'm 2 minutes off. I'm going to start the clock, and I'm going to leave time within that 15 minutes for you, for those of you interacting, to be able to drop a comment, whether you're on the YouTube app, whether you happen to be on Twitter X. Although if you're on Twitter X, just take a second, go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. That's where the algorithm, that's where the progression, the growth happens. Go to that platform, find Vader Games TV. Click on that, drop a like, sub if you haven't, and give a comment. You can be a part of the show. And I shout out the very first every show. But first things first, my peoples come first. My people, those of you no longer here, those of you here, listen, always part of my life. Now, first, the comment, the support, tremendous. I got to shout them out. True City fan, my brother, what it do? Hope you're doing well, man. Bless up. We got to connect. We got some content to go over. So many games left, but we'll talk about Manchester City in particular at another time. Hope I'm well, man. I hope you're recovering well. I hope you're getting stronger. Egal in the building, my dude. Vibes from the 6. We link up twice a week. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you can be a part of the show. Now, I'm gonna start the timer, and I'm gonna get into it. And don't get triggered. Do not get triggered. This is actually a conversation that I need to have not only to all of you footballers out there, but as I'm talking, as I'm addressing United fans, I'm actually talking to my fans. I'm talking to City fans. I'm talking to them because let's not go down the same route. Now, this is it. This is what we got to talk about. We got to be real. This is no agenda stuff. This is nothing where I'm trying to instigate nothing. I'm just getting something off my chest, right? My mind. And you may see it differently. You can be a part. You can disagree. Ops in here won't like this. I get it. I agree. True City fan. The ops are here, of course, but we'll get into it. And again, if you're on Twitter X, go to YouTube, hit that like button, subscribe. I think the price of admission should be the like. All right, you're here continuously, and the support's been great, but hit that like button. Now, based off of the image, you see this kind of like sell the club, Glazers out, that whole movement. I think there's one thing that fans surprisingly don't recognize or understand, and that's the power that they have. That's the influence that they have. All right? When you think that, oh, I'm only one individual, I don't make a difference, you've already failed. You've already missed your strength, your importance. All right? Yes, I agree. One isn't powerful. One isn't powerful. But you close that or you group that with others, it can be, right? So, United fans, I know you keep telling me, you keep telling others about the standards. I've been accustomed to my mighty United being this, being that. I've had the greats when you want to list off who you've had at striker, the greats who you want to list off as in the midfield, the greats you want to list off as your defenders. Yes, you've had greats throughout your club. Every club's had some greats. Now, maybe you've had many more greats than others, but imagine every fan holding their club to the standard of what they had when they had their best ever. When they had their best ever player, let's say Cristiano Ronaldo. When they had their best ever defender, let's say Rio Ferdinand. when they've had their easily their best ever manager and say that this is a standard that they expect. United fans have been the problem since Sir Alex Ferguson because they're holding a club, holding a standard that is damn near impossible to keep. Now, you got rid of the appointed manager that your great Sir Alex Ferguson saw to have replace him because he wasn't able to match or keep the standards that you guys expect. You've gotten rid of many managers since because despite maybe a good start, despite some success, it's not maintained consistently to how you want it. Get them out. You should, and I'm going to stay present day, because the reason why this is so relevant is because the pattern continues. The pattern continues since Sir Alex Ferguson. Eric Ten Hag was talked about like levels. He was talked about like finally got him, finally got the right one. And he delivered a trophy last season. But now you are pointing out everything that is wrong in a manager year 2. Imagine you had that same excessive viewpoint when your Sir Alex Ferguson joined your club. Go back and do your Googles, do your history. I'm not going to profess and say that I know your club better than you, but I also know that there's a reason why patience is key. There's a reason why long-term success is often available with some patience, with some direction. The fan base, and the reason why I mentioned the fan base have been a problem is because they've been too loud. And not only that, they've been loud and they've been split. One thing, and go, if you haven't read The Art of War, I suggest you do that. Actually, for those of you that don't like reading, get it on audiobook. Just listen to it. You're not going to want to read it, listen to it. Audiobook, Art of War. United have become massive, huge. Credit to you. International fan base, ridiculous numbers, commercial club, of course. But when you have such a large fan base and you have some voices that are pro or against, and you've had a lot of voices that have been I should say against the Glazers. Funny enough, the Glazers, I think, became owners of the club 2005. 2005. Now, they weren't the problem, were they? I know you disagree on how they acquired the club and all that kind of stuff. I understand that. But y'all didn't stop winning. You guys actually went on to have tremendous success. You guys went on to continue to bring in amazing talent. The Glazers out, listen, fundamentally, with regards to football, buying a club on debt and all that kind of stuff, whatever. Are you supposed to have great owners all the time? Or are they always supposed to be putting their hands in their pocket and giving millions and millions for sustained success? No, there's no rule to that. But you do want the club to remain in existence, remain competitive. United fans, honestly, of all of the fans out there, and I stress this to my City fans, we're having tremendous success right now. We cannot become like them. We cannot have the day where Pep happens to leave and we hold the club to be able to win 5 out of 6. We need to always sign the best incoming talent. Actually, we don't even really get the best incoming talent now, so hopefully we don't change our mindset and expect that moving forward. But this is a plea. This is a plea to City fans. We can't be like United fans. We can't move like this. When Pep goes, we can't be this problem on our club need to be the greatest and be competing for trebles and expected to be in Champions League finals. It's a sport. This is a sport. Rivals, ops, they strengthen. They get better. Sometimes your level can still be of good success, of great success, but your surroundings, the other clubs, they're all competing, they're all getting better. Sometimes you can't maintain at that level. Imagine let me say this, and I'm gonna go to the comments. Imagine you had Chelsea fans saying the best ever, the best season that they've ever witnessed. All of them saying this is the standard I hold my club to. Imagine Liverpool did the same thing. Now imagine Arsenal did the same thing. City do the same thing. And you obviously you have United fans doing this. There's only one there's only one major trophy. There's the Prem. And yes, there's Champions League, but there's only one. Only one club can win. Now if you happen to fall off, but it's fiercely competitive. And sometimes it can't even necessarily be fiercely competitive, but it's recognizing that squad for squad, player, you just don't match up. You can't maintain that level. I've seen too many spoiled brats, too many arrogant, selfish fans that look at it and just look at it like it's a bubble. Like my club should be winning all the time. And if they're not, this manager isn't good enough. If they're not, this player isn't good enough. I'm going to go to the comments, but as much as I want to point out that the inconsistency or maybe the size of United's fan base is too big, because at the same time you could have so many millions of fans saying Glazers out, I want better for my club, I want so and so players. You'll have the same other half of millions showing up to the games, buying merchandise, taxing out that superstore, and saying and just enjoying the game, showing up at every game and being like everything's nice and chill, everything's great. Oh, I hear a new signing's coming in the summer. Yeah, good business, right? As much as you can have opposing views, you can have the opposite side. And this is the problem with United fans. This has been the problem. Not all of them can be on the same page. I don't want my club. I don't want my fan base to move like that. We as City fans, we've looked across the street and we've complained about how arrogant United fans have been, how entitled they've been, how every year they just expect, oh, we're United. They just expect to be there. I hope that when we don't happen to have the best manager in the world, or we have a slight dip where we need to fight our way back, that we understand that it's a fight your way back. It's not a given. Let me go to the comments. I know I fell a little behind and I'm going to shout you all out. I got my man Stark in the building. Big up, Vader. You know what it is. I love the Abbey as well. Haas goes, big up, Vader. You're a fraud. Hey. Some may say I'm a fraud. Some may not. It's all good. It's all good. Why study taught and not Villa? Hey, if you would like other questions to be answered, you can be a part of that. Trust me. Trust me. Let me know. But Villa, maybe I think there's a little more research needs to be required. But we have the research already required on Tottenham. Spurs they're part of the big six without any hardware. That needs to be studied. That needs to be explained. Yo, Edison, what it do? IEGA, if you don't know, that was the league that I played in for FIFA. Now EA FC 24. The guy's a beast. AC Milan fan. Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. Gotta get the Vader subs up. Trust me, I'm trying. And this is why I'm trying to do 2 shows a week if I can. I'm featured as well. Those that I feature with, they put my channel description in there. So hopefully the love's there. You guys hit those subs up. Hit the likes. The likes actually, I think, make the difference. Do that for me. And if you're on a different platform, if you're on that Twitter X app, comment, first of all, be a part of the show. And then also go over to the YouTube. Show some love. Owners haven't put competent people in charge. Yeah, you can argue that. Yes, you can argue that. But it's not a lack of changing out people. It's not a lack of spending. It's not a lack of being one of the top spenders to replenish the squad. There's a reason why when they do bring in new players that the fan base go on mute. That the fan base be like, okay, let's wait and see. Now, when at the end, when the results aren't there, they happen to fall short to a City, to a Liverpool, in this case now with an Arsenal, they're falling even further back. Now they want to talk it up. And it hasn't necessarily been the owners, though. There's never one problem. All right. It's lazy to say Glazers out. That's the reason for everything going wrong. Because again, the Glazers came in 2005. Have they been the problem since 2005? Has there not been any winning over at United? All right. Now, when you have a generational, and this is actually, I'm using this word properly. When you have a generational manager in Sir Alex Ferguson, you get results. When you actually have, and then when you don't have the patience to let a manager cook, when you have, what's the list of managers right now? It's working backwards. They're getting rid of Eric Ten Hag. Before that, they had Ragnick, and we know Ragnick was competent, but they didn't like how he spoke or what he had to say. Before that, they had Ollie, and Ollie kind of was doing his thing, and then he fell off. And now many of them don't like what Ten Hag's doing, and they want Ollie back, which is hilarious. And then they had Van Gaal, they had Moyes. Like, listen, so many managers, and when they don't hold to the standard of a Sir Alex Ferguson, they want that man out. Absolutely crazy. Um, let me see what start. See how the Athletic are glazing United for portraying Sancho loan deal is winning situation. I did not see that on the Atlantic, but if you have a player that doesn't want to play for your club, and I've seen this firsthand, you don't want that. You don't want that spoiled apple in the bunch. Now, it makes sense to get him out. He happens to go back to a club that he had success at. It does. Is it a win-win? Potentially, because he's showing his value again. So many other clubs should be like, yeah. All right. He's not as bad as we thought. Maybe it's just a situation over at United. So I see it. I didn't see the article, but it does look like it's a win-win, because if you don't have a player that wants to play for you, get him to play somewhere else and maybe spark interest to get him out the door. Edison, if owners put $1 billion into transfer, what does that tell you? That's what I'm saying, man. Edison, you over there in Serie A, AC Milan. Imagine your owners putting in $1 billion. Your owners putting in $1 billion and you complaining. Different perspective, man. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Egal goes, yes, people. Who is going to win the league? He wants to ask the question, who's winning the league? And you know why? Because he's an Arsenal fan. He's an Arsenal fan, and he wants to know whether we think we're winning the league or not, or whether the ops think we're winning the league or not. Listen, I featured on a few channels, and they were doing the whole fixture list, last remaining 10 fixtures, who's got it tougher, where do you see these? Listen, I entertained it. I don't live by it, though. One game at a time. Who's in front of me now? Who's my opposition? Who's my competitor? Let me deal with you. I was just on American Waffle, and they asked me, who am I playing what game is the last game of the season? I was like, I don't even know. I'm not even focused on that. I got Fulham next. That's the mentality. That's what you have to get at to win. And the thing is, it spills over. It spills over. My time is up on the 15 minutes. One question for 15 minutes. But I'm going to continue talking with you guys for a bit. You got to go one game at a time. And that's not only the club. That's not only the manager. That's not only the players. It is also the fan base. You want that energy to be with the players to push them forward. And I said this at the beginning of the show. Fans underestimate how powerful they are. Fans underestimate how influential and how much winning can actually come from a fan's attitude, a fan support, a fan's commentary. All right. Yes, this day and age, many players are on these apps. Most recently, with regards to Liverpool, you got Darwin Núñez, who actually removed all of his Liverpool imagery from IG. Now, some players have comments on, comments off, but trust me, all these players know what's being said about them. In print, in radio, in TV, on the social platforms. Fans have influence. Fans have influence. And in this case, with regards to winning this league, every City fan, one game at a time is our approach. You don't get too high with the win. You don't get too low after a loss or a draw, but you move forward. And If you're going to ask me right now, Igal, am I winning this league? I'm winning this game versus Fulham. All right, take that. I'm winning this game versus Fulham, and then we'll see what happens next. We'll see what happens next. They want to win. Everybody wants to win. Trust me. Trust me. Stark, can you mess up Goldbridge for me? He is the rep. So Stark, and I encourage this. Let me get a little preachy. All right, if you look closely, you can see the platinums. All right, I've circled the sun many times, and with that comes wisdom. Right, with that comes wisdom. Look, the platinums are actually coming in a little better. Before they were all on this side. Now it seems to be blending in. But you can like food, like anything. You can control what your intake is. You can control what is around you. What what you ingest essentially. And I have a very healthy like YouTube, Instagram, Twitter diet. Like things that I don't like, things that I don't enjoy, things that I already see to be comical. This is going to sound harsh with regards to Goldbridge, but things that I think are poorly researched, quick takes, more emotion reactionary than actually intelligent. I don't consume. Obviously, it'll come across my timeline at times because others will share it or whatever. But in terms of notification, this guy just dropped the video, or this guy just said da da da. It's not part of me, man. So I would encourage you not to be one of those numbers that add to his views. That's my thing. Sit ta. Trust me. Sit ta. Sit ta. Sit ta. Haz, you got a lot. Igal, do you keep a manager that can't effectively use your marquee players? Ooh, Igal may not want to answer that on this platform. He'll probably choose to do that on his show. But let me say this. For all of you that say these are my standards. For all of you saying that I'm accustomed to winning. For all of you saying, if you don't deliver me trophies, what good are you? I honestly question whether you've ever competed in your life. I question whether you understand what sport is. Like I said, there's only one trophy. There's only one trophy. So you have 3, 4, 5, 6. You have all these teams competing to win said trophy. Only one can be the winner. So the other 5 that don't win the trophy doesn't mean that they're bums. The other 5 that happen to lose versus an opponent that is lesser to them because on that day that team played well, or for whatever reason, because again, these are human beings. The game didn't go the way, and you suffered a loss, whether it be a record-setting loss, never happened before, or it happened to be a loss. Period. That is sport. That is sport, and I honestly question some of you that say you're expected to win because you're so and so club. Are we forgetting upsets? Are we forgetting that you can win or lose in these things? Like it doesn't go from making a manager or a team or a player that has an error or makes a mistake in a game a bum. Like this is where I'm actually talking to many of you. A lot of you want to like discredit and talk down about Twitter X. Oh, the spaces. Oh, the conversations within spaces. Okay, it's a different format. It's not as you don't quite see the faces. So in terms of etiquette and letting each other speak, sometimes it gets a little long. I see the same thing on YouTube. I see the same bad takes on YouTube. Now, the point I want to make here is you're competing for a trophy with 4, 5, 6 other highly leveled clubs as well, and managers that are being paid for the same reason your manager is being paid, to win. And on a given day, that cannot go your way. You can fall short. Does it then mean the player or the manager are out the door? This is what's crazy to me. I really don't get it. And maybe it's the platinums. Maybe it's because I'm a different generation. Maybe that's what it is. Listen. I'm not going to say that my generation was tougher. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be that. What's that old guy on the lawn? Get off my lawn. I'm not going to be that. But I will say this: my generation, my generation. I, if you going to school, there was no peanut allergy warnings. All right, it wasn't soft like that. It wasn't soft like that. If you had a peanut allergy, you had to survive. You had to avoid it if you had that allergy. It wasn't a mass, no peanut fruits, no peanut meals, no peanut snacks. There was none of that was barred from coming into the schoolyard. So listen, imagine surviving that. Imagine having to survive that. Imagine having to survive the mandatory helmets to ride a bike. This is a survival generation. So the toughness is a little different. All right? The toughness is a little different. And I want to point out that if you're a fan that demands winning every year, I honestly don't know how you see sport. Or I I happen to believe that all you witnessed was your club at its greatest period. That's it. And maybe I'm the fortunate one to be able to be supporting my club before they actually won a damn thing of significance with regards to showing dominance. Yeah, you have things that have happened or even one offs, or then you have everybody wants to tell me you win the lottery. And when you win the lottery, and when the lottery was won, you still had to wait for that success to come. So maybe I'm just privy to that. Maybe the fan bases that are a little more calmer in perspective to be like, listen, this is sport, this is competition. You happen to not win in year one, year two, that doesn't mean get out of here. That doesn't mean you're a bum. That doesn't mean all the years of your progression getting to this point means you're not good enough to deliver on this club. Hey, I happen to believe that the whole spiral, the confusion, the can't tell the front from the back, can't understand the direction of a club with regards to United. If the United fan base would just fall back, just lean back like Fat Joe. If you just lean back and say, you know what? You're telling me you have a plan. You're now hiring the back rooms, the board staff, the boardroom staff. You're now on a plan to get the manager. You're trying to get some players out, players in. I've seen other clubs do this, and it's been a bumpy road. I'm going to accept the bumpy road, but you got to deliver in 3 years. You got to deliver in competing in 3 years. Fan base would never do that. This United fan base would never do that. Once they see that they're behind so and so club, the banter, look at Chelsea, Spurs, they've never been better than us, but look, they're ahead of us. Once they see any of that, they crumble because they go, oh, I remember when my club was. If this fan base can fall back, and again, if I say this, they get triggered. If you were to do something like you saw Arsenal do, Arsenal are on 20 years without the Prem. They're on 20 years without the Prem, but they've been challenging the last 2 years, and they have a good chance of winning it this year. I honestly don't believe that United fans would give a Arteta start to any manager. Let that sink in. Close your eyes. And I'm not even going to do this join the club midway or whatever nonsense. He finished 8th and 8th. I know. I'm not even going to say I think. I know no United fan base would allow an incoming manager to finish 8th and 8th and give them time to do their thing, to be successful. I know that. And the funny thing is, if they were to go back and see how Sir Alex Ferguson started, this wasn't all rosy. It wasn't all rainbows. It wasn't all waterfalls and nice and beautiful blue skies. It was rough. They wouldn't even allow that. And they want to tell you, oh, because of his resume, because of what he did before joining there, he would have been given time. This fan base right now, not. United fan base has been the problem since Sir Alex Ferguson. Now, whether they can look and see other examples of other clubs that have had it difficult because they're going on 10 years now, Arsenal 20 years. If a United fan can honestly say, you know what, I would accept without any guarantees that my incoming manager can have failed seasons, but progress and potentially challenge in 4 or 5 years, then they're onto something. Then they're onto something. But the fan base would never do it. And I've talked way too long on this topic. You guys know it's been it's the United fans. They've been all over the place. No patience, no tolerance. The latest is with Ten Hag, and before that was with Ragnick, and before that was with Ollie. This is a plea, and I'm going to go to the comments. This is a plea to my City fans. I'm talking to you guys. Let's not do this. We know that Pep's not going to be here forever. We know that. We can easily go back and think about the success with Pellegrini when Mancini. They want to talk about when the money came in. If we were to go back and have spells where we're battling and not winning, I mean, falling out of top 4. But if the league is fierce, we got to accept it. This is sport. We got to accept it. Let me see. Let me go to the comments. No way City sent him a season. No, they didn't. That's all garbage. Ads, man, community therapy. Sit tight till I die. Trust me. Football Power Hour. Here to drop a like. Appreciate. Much appreciated. Like and a comment. Man, I'm grateful. Hello, Blues. Big up Vader. Pies. We got a week. We got an important week ahead of us. Now I'm thinking of doing Why Always Me tomorrow. So look out for that notification. I should have done a redirect. I got to mess around and do that. But please, on this channel, see my next video. Make sure that you've got that ready. This guy. Let me talk about this guy. Sod's Football Corner. And I like Sod's Football Corner. I think he's looking to maybe rebrand, but I like Sod's Football Corner. He says like and subscribe, guys. Go and support his channel as well. Go like and subscribe. Yes, he's an op. He's an Arsenal fan. But what I'm going to highlight right now, and I'm going to show you guys, and it's going to be a good conversation. It's going to be a very good conversation. Let me show you what I'm talking about on the next show. In particular, look at this topic right here. We're going to discuss, and Saad's going to like this. Arsenal have, there's no doubt right now. What I'm looking at, everything that I'm hearing, futures, and obviously a lot can happen in the transfer window, but Arsenal have replaced Liverpool. Saad, Arsenal have replaced Liverpool. This is going to be a battle, and I'm not looking for any rivalry. I'm not looking for any of that. I'm just pointing out that, hey, future fights, it's between you and me, man. You and me. Haas goes, oh, I got more questions. You got more questions? Hey, link them up. Rohan goes, Vader, De Bruyne has played 2,000 minutes less than Bellingham and only has 10 GA less. We know I think De Bruyne would have had a record-breaking season if he started it healthy. Based off of the momentum, based off of the trust that was there between him, Haaland, Foden, Alvarez, Grealish. I mean, healthy, it would have been record-setting numbers. And hopefully, the strength that he's acquired through the surgery, and hopefully this summer everyone comes back healthy and good to go. I think it's going to be a memorable record-breaking year for KDB. And he's quality. I'm not going to kill Bellingham too much because, again, young player. I believe he's only 21. He's got a bright future. He's got a lot more game to develop. Listen, Donna, Wagwan, I respect that. Hope you're good. Appreciate the support, the likes, the comments. Am I single? Nah, I've been off the market for a while now. Happily married. But good looking out, the support nonetheless. If you have anyone interested in talking ball, liking these topics, you want to be a part of whatever the next question is, because you have a choice in that. You have a say in what the next questions are. Make that happen. Now, I'm going to cut this. Let me go to the comments. And if you are on the Twitter X app, come on, drop a like, man. Drop a like. I don't think it's a lack of desire to win by the Glazers. Maybe a lack of institutional know-how. Facts. They didn't know what they were doing. Again, they keep reminding us they're bankers. They're bankers. They're bankers. So as bankers, they've made decisions on people that they've picked. Obviously, they interview, but obviously they look to see who should be put in these positions. And these people have fallen short. These people have made mistakes. But it's not like the Glazers are out there doing all of this. And it's not like the Glazers haven't spent. The funny thing is they spent a lot. They spent more than City. But to United fans who are the problem, they haven't spent their own money. They haven't spent enough. Crazy. Crazy. Now, the reason why, at the end of the day, why United fans are the problem, because if you want the Glazers out, money talks. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Money talks. What 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 do all of the best organized protests, what do all of the best we need to make a change, what do they do? What do they do? They boycott. What do? They voice their problems. They voice what they're not happy with. They voice what they're not happy with. They boycott, they protest, and at the end of the day, they withhold their hard-earned cash. Think of all of it. Think of all of it. It's always where they tell you money makes the world go round. They tell you speak with your dollar, or in this case, speak without your dollar, without spending your dollar. United fans, you want to make this Glazer thing not be profitable, them realizing that there's no point in sticking around because it's not beneficial to them. Don't spend. Don't spend. Shout out to my man Terry on the Football Terrace. He hasn't spent anything on United since he's realized that the Glazers, in his eyes, the Glazers are the problem. So he doesn't spend on them. Now, I think you also have to do more than that, because if you're not going to spend on them, I don't think you should be talking highly of them in the transfer window. I don't think you should be talking highly of them in terms of winning matches. I think if you're going to do that and you want them out, the only thing you ever say of the Glazers is bad. I think you don't give them any positive spin. You don't give them any publicity in a good way. Everything's negative. Talk about their poorly run stadium all the time. Talk about their poor decisions in terms of their boardroom members. Talk about how the players that they've acquired are poor. Talk about how their performance has been poor. If you speak positively, because we know that positive engagement, it's currency. 2024 interactions, likes, engagements, that's currency. If the likes and engagements are based off of positive sentiment on United, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. Hence again, going back to the fans. I'm really not trying to make this overly complicated. I'm not. But also I get it. Now, deep down inside, if you don't really believe it's the Glazers, it's a combination of things, I get it now. Yeah, Glazers can be a fault, just like any other owner at a club can be a fault. People that they've hired in terms of scouting, in terms of manager, in terms of medical staff, in terms of even transfer decisions, all a combination of things. So if you look at it in that perspective, I can understand you not necessarily being Glazers out all the time, because you intelligently realize that it's a combination of things. There's people that are hired that make mistakes. Now, if you're going to be so ABC 1, 2, 3, it falls at the owners. So success doesn't happen. It's the owner's fault. You can go that route. Imagine me with the amount of success that I've been able to witness for my club based off of the owners and decisions that they've made, to then go, you know what? City fell short versus Arsenal this year, or City fell short versus Liverpool a couple of years back. Nah, it's the owner's fault. Check Mansour. This guy hired the wrong so and so. This guy, you understand? You understand how silly that sounds? Sometimes it's a combination of things. It doesn't really fall at the owners. And honestly, if you're gonna do all of that and say it falls at the owners, fans, you guys can make that change. Fans, you guys can make that difference if you really want the owners out. It's just that's just me. That's just me. And again, this is my opinion. Nothing to say that I'm right in what I'm saying. Nothing to say that this is how it should be done. But I do encourage many of you go and read The Art of War. And if you don't want to read it, you lazy bums, go and listen to it on audiobook. It'll give you a lot of good perspectives. Now, let me go to these comments. I'm falling way behind. Edison goes, Mourinho put them second. Mourinho put them second. And you know what? They went from the success that he delivered to he lost the dressing room. He's toxic. He's not good for developing young talent. This isn't sustainable. Adam in the building. Big up. Yo, large up, my guy. Large up. DC, hope you're good. She goes, big up, Vader. Thanks for all of the content lately. Really enjoying it. Thank you so much. And again, I'm actually so upset with myself, DC. I'm being genuine right now. I want these to be 25, 30-minute shows. I have a problem. I talk too much. And the interaction with all of you in the comments, I think, deserves to be discussed and shared. You guys are taking the time to share a comment with me. I should continue to talk through the show. And you're here. So hopefully you enjoy it being longer than it's kind of designed to be. And again, there's something I'll kind of mess around with and refine. But yeah, no, much appreciated, DC. Edison goes, Vader, thoughts on the Sancho situation going to the final as a United loan? That is huge. You know what? There's a loan. Funny enough, Arsenal had the potential of winning this league, and their keeper's on loan, right? Raya's on loan to them. So I think it's not a comical thing. I think it's actually good with regards to showing that players may need a little more run. They need more playing time. They need to maybe change environments. And because there is reporting, it's not like a player sent on loan and there's no interaction between the clubs anymore, right? The player's not sent and forgotten. But to realize what maybe works for Sancho, what doesn't, him having success over there at Dortmund, I think it's really, I honestly think it's a win-win. It's a win-win for the player because they show their value, show their quality, and then it's on United on how they want to move forward. But Sancho, he came through the City Academy, right? He came through the City Academy. He's quality. We knew this. It was him and Foden. Like those were the two stars. He had different expectations of himself, the amount of playing time that he wanted, the opportunity, and he moved quick. He moved earlier than Foden did. Foden chose to stay. He was surrounded by Aguero, Silva, KDB, Gundogan, Yaya, and things of that nature. So he chose maybe a slower or less the instant gratification in terms of getting there. He took a slower route. It's paid off for either player. The unfortunate part, United fans, I know you're going to hate hearing this. You're going to hate hearing this, but I'm going to have to do this anyways.
Max, can you earmuff it for me? We are going to get so
cover up your ears, United fans. There's something wrong. There's I don't know if it's in the water. I don't know if it's the environment. I don't know if there are ghosts in that stadium. Something's got so many quality players messing up, not playing to their level. Sancho, the more recent one, he's left there and look at what he's doing. They said he couldn't run. They said he had no pace. Maybe he did all this to get out, but something wrong at United. They need some type of cleanse, some type of purge. I don't know what it is, but as a rival, what do we like to say? Long may it continue. Steve in the building. What do you? Steve's laughing at me. He goes, peanut allergies. Yeah, Steve, I'm telling you, like there were different battles back in the day. I'm telling you, like this. Not to call this gen soft, but But I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me go. Let me go. Edison again. He goes, Vader, do you agree people should add a decisive game in the end of the table? If the table is narrow like this, Arsenal versus City, game 39, winner takes all? No. Do you mean so? Hold on, Edison. Do you mean in the event of a tie? Like if it ends up being a tie in terms of league points, that there should be a winner takes all game on neutral ground? It's interesting. It's an interesting thought. The only problem is I happen to believe that the standings don't lie. I think after 38 games, if you're top after 38 games, whether it's points, goal differential, you deserve to win. That's it. You played home and away. You deserve to win it. If it's close, if it has to be goal differential, no, there's no playoff. Nah, now that I talk that out loud, Edison, nah, we're not doing that. 38 games that decides it. Haas goes, Vader, I think you missed my point. If the manager cannot put my best players in a position to be successful and we aren't winning trophies, why am I paying him? If the manager can't, so here's the problem. If you believe that the players that you have should be a lot more successful and it's the manager that's keeping them back, it's your choice to get rid of the manager. Now, if you know your manager to be able to get the best out of players, if you know your manager to be able to get results, I think you I think you're on track to get back to your winning ways with a few changes in players than you are in manager. That's me. But I hear your point. And maybe if there was a little more, maybe if it was like a specific detail in terms of said manager, would you keep them or would you send them away? Then I could maybe better answer that for you. Well, wouldn't it depend what Man United did on the cup competitions? Hold on here. I skipped one. Having an effective play style and utilizing players correctly isn't always indicated by wins. Yeah, I agree. So wins isn't the end all. I agree. That's the thing. There's a lot of ABC 1, 2, 3. Win, okay, good. Lose, okay, bad. Nah, I agree, Haas. Like you also, this is where some fans really get into the weeds. Some fans really get into the nitty gritty, knowing the details, who's healthy, who's not, little dramas that are happening. Um, they also understand whether, how do I put this? They also understand when a player is maybe put in a position or given instructions that they're not qualified to do. And as a City fan, I've seen this. We've all asked questions of Pep. Pep, what, Akanji? Why are you making him try? Why are you having him do the stones inverted roll? He's not comfortable doing it, but he's done it game after game after game. Why? Because you can't evolve. You can't add to your game. You can't grow if you're not uncomfortable. There's only so much Akanji can do on the training pitch. There's stuff that he's going to have to do in game. Now, we can all witness and see that he doesn't do it at the level of Stones, but that he needs to do it, that he needs to add to it. And what happens later in the season? Oh, we get it. Oh, we see it now. You're able to do it and you're more comfortable. We're getting results. We're getting better performances. This is the impatience that I talk about with many fans. It's not FIFA. It's not EAFC. Sometimes you have to see the growing pains. You have to see the instructions not quite hitting yet. Like, I don't know, man. On another show, not this one, because I've already made this a lot longer than I want it to be. But on another show, and maybe it's gonna be maybe it'll be a call-in, maybe it'll be like a Q&A. I'll just kind of answer questions. But I have an athletic background, so I know the pains of doing things in practice that don't seem to be paying off, and sometimes doing things in practice that seem like you've regressed because you didn't do it as good as you did it like a week or 2 weeks ago. But honestly, in sport isn't this. You can't maintain peak performance in anything that you do. If you maintain peak performance physically, it's questionable. All right? So when you have dips, when you have, you have peaks and you have dips, it's pretty much cycles, training cycles. That happens in the game as well. That happens with the team as well. We've seen, oh, you know what? Bernardo didn't look good the last 2 games. Well, he's having a dip right now. That level, whether it's physical, whether it's mental, all that kind of happens. So I don't expect any player or any club to always be at peak level. And that's why I actually thought it was incredible. And this is not to throw any shade, but honestly, what Liverpool did their Champions League year, the following year to win the league, was absolutely incredible in terms of available bodies, in terms of performance. Like, sport typically doesn't move like that. It's highs and lows. And I think the impatience that many fans have when they see the lows, it's a little unrealistic. Let me go through these comments. Well, wouldn't it depend on the Man United Cup competition? I think if some United fans are like Ten Hag can stay if he wins the FA, and that's their decision maker, sure. I think you look at what he did year one, you look at what he's done year two, you look at how players perform year one, you look at how players perform year two, you look at available bodies, you look at injured bodies, and then you make your assessment. If you just say that this manager is not good enough, period, happens to be your choice. If you happen to couple that with all of the other information and think that maybe he deserves a third year, cool. If you happen to look at all that and say, no, he's not good enough, it's your choice. The funny thing is, like Groundhog Day, like rinse and repeat, a lot of praise for the manager. Year one, yay, do your thing. Yeah, okay, we're getting results. Year two, drop off, get the man out of here. Or year three. I flows. But hey, that's me. Steve, if they finish 8th and 8th but won UCL back to back, I think Manchester United fans would tolerate a manager. Yeah, but Steve, that's very extreme. I mean, that's almost movements like Liverpool, where Liverpool would be like out of the top 6 or something like that, or out of the top 7, and they'd win Champions League. Like, I honestly, I don't even think that the fan base would tolerate that. Like, if they were getting smashed in the league and happened to win a UCL, I think they'd still want them out. Pablo in the building. What to do? Pablo on Twitter X taking the time to drop a comment. All of you doing the same thing. If you happen to be on Twitter X, drop that comment. I'm a run through these comments because I love the interaction. Edison, check what happened to Milan last Sunday. All right, I got you. The fans walked out mid-game in protest. That's it. Edison, that's it. The fans have the power. Honest. When they say follow the money, follow the money. Fans not paying for subscriptions, fans not paying for merchandise, fans not paying to go to games. You want the Glazers out? It's that simple, or maybe it's that difficult. Steve, the fans enable the bad practices of the Glazers, and that's a decision. Facts. We're on the same page. We're talking the same language. Edison, yeah, the ultras. Yeah, he's talking about the ultras and the walkout. That's huge. Steve watches almost every game. I think he's got 5 screens in his house. Yeah, have you guys seen the Matrix? Spoiler alert! But the Matrix, there's a scene where Neo ends up meeting up with the architect who designed the whole Matrix, and he literally has tons of different screens in there. I think that's Steve. DC, be the change you wish to see in the world. Gandhi, that's what I hear you saying, Vader, and I agree. DC, there's a reason why I enjoy when you're in the comments. There's a reason why. Steve in the building. Vader, I think a lot. Oh wait, Vader, I talk a lot too. Wait, what? I talk a lot too. It's impossible for me to do a 30-minute show. Okay, I got you. I think it's possible. But in this case, my interaction with all of y'all is why I'm extending this, because I'm enjoying the combo. Vic Bell. Now, Vic Bell is one of the realists, and those of you that want to be snobs on Twitter X, Vic Bell is one of the realists. Now, I'm going to say this real quick for Vic, because his experience is very similar to mine. So my interaction with regards to sport and fandom and tribalism has been this season, right? So whether it's Toronto FC, MLS, yes, soccer. If it happens to be the Toronto Raptors, if it was the Montreal Alouettes, which happen to be the CFL, Canadian football. If it happens to be NFL with regards to the Steelers, I'm just showing how I've kind of consumed sport, right? It's always been about this season. It's always about like, listen, here's who I have, whether it's my 11, whether it's 5v5, whatever. My team's better than yours, and here's the reason why. It's been very interesting, and I love the journey, but the fandom with regards to my club has so many NBA championships. My club has so many, if it would be Stanley Cups, if you're talking NHL, my club has so many Super Bowl trophies. Like, the past conversation hasn't really been a thing. Like, it's been a thing adopted, developed. So now when it comes down to the banter side, and I enjoy it tremendously. Like the learning curve has been huge, and I actually love the banter. But Vic and his journey with regards to crashing, roasting, doing the whole my player standards or my player greats, my goats to my club via your club. I, we've had a very similar journey, and if you get a chance to actually tune into his spaces, they're good entertainment. They're good entertainment. Steve, talent dies at United nowadays. There's something happening over there. There's something happening over there, and whether it's the ghosts, whether it's the ghosts of what United won in the past, maybe that badge is too heavy for players. Maybe it's the fact that United still are, as they're supposed to be, a destination club. Everybody wants to go there. Why do you still overpay to have that talent? United, Real Madrid, why are you considered destinations, but you are also the top spenders on talent that some would argue, more so than the United case, shouldn't be getting the dollars like that? Shouldn't be getting that much of a salary. That's my thing. Edison, tie or 2 points or less? No, Edison, no. If it's a tie or 2 points or less with regards to the standings, there's no playoff. There's no added game. No, no. Stop this. Stop this. The league standings don't lie. Despite what some are trying to do out there, they're trying to tell you, oh, now the league standings kind of lie. No, if you win the league, you've won the league. There's no debates. There's no questions going back. Now, some of you frauds, yes, frauds, capital F, want to keep track of some of the decision calls that happen to go in favor of one club versus another. Don't play this game. Honestly, don't play this game. Because then it's just going to be a tally of everything that went in favor of Arsenal, everything that went in favor of City, everything that went in favor for Liverpool, and then you're going to go down this stupid, ridiculous list. The league standings don't lie. My phone is blowing up. Steve, predictions for tonight: Real Madrid versus Bayern Munich game. Is anyone still watching? Shout out to Professor Hamza. He on Twitter X on the timeline, and I retweeted this. He shared a lot of questionable decisions, or like I was just speaking about, things that went in favor for Real Madrid over the years. I encourage you guys to go to all see that. And Real Madrid, yes, they've won 14. They've won 14, but go back. Just go back. That's all I'm going to say. Go back and check that out. Prediction-wise, I'm predicting Real Madrid to win. I'm predicting Real Madrid to face Dortmund. I'm predicting Real Madrid to win their 15th UCL. And unfortunately, I'm predicting Mbappe to go to Real Madrid, who just won a UCL, and he's going there to be another cog in the Real Madrid factory. Steve, question: is Eddie Howe or Mark Hughes? Is Eddie Howe our Mark Hughes? You can choose him to be that way, meaning you'll think that he can only take you to a certain level and then bring in an incoming manager for greater success. But I would, and you know your club better than me, I would look at what he's done to get players to max out and what he still lacks. What he still lacks in terms of player personnel to maybe get over that hump in terms of consistently being in that top four and possibly challenging for the league. Um, I think Eddie Howe could actually deliver a domestic trophy. I think he could, but I don't think you have the quality at Newcastle just yet. Muscle memory is created by trying new things as an athlete. Steve, man, this is it. We get along. You understand what I'm saying here. Bless or Biss, sorry. Arsenal own 115. What? Arsenal own 115. Rose Marie Magyar. Hey Vader, good morning. I'm here. Rose, thank you so much. I hope that you know what, I gotta go back and look on this. Yeah. Rose in the comments. I know I'm having a good show. That's all I'm gonna say. Man City are nothing club, juiced on oil. Hated by British football fans. Can't wait for 115 to be relegated back to Division 3 where they belong. Division 3 is a little extreme, this. When you want to say to where we belong, because that's a little too far down. I would say that unlike any other successful club that you want to say have built it the right way and have the history, they all did that with money. Now, if you don't like money, or you do like money, you just don't like oil money, that's on you. But go back. Look to when United were doing their thing. Look to when Arsenal were doing their thing. Even go back and look at when Liverpool did their thing. Go back. Go back when Liverpool were dominant. Ask me. Ask me the question. Ask me the question when you do all that. And the question I want you to ask me is, can you win without money, Biss? That's the question I want you to ask me. Can you win without money? And show me an example of a club winning without money. I dare you. Steve, the Matrix. Yeah. You got too many screens, Steve. I know it. DC says showing love to Rose. Damn, you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Fair enough. How'd that happen? It's not so much a long story, but I witnessed them playing in the playoffs, or not in the playoffs, playing Cleveland back in the day. They lost, but while watching the game, everybody except for my dad was rooting for the Browns. Everybody, and this is the Browns before they even did the move, or before the Browns got dissolved or moved to Baltimore, and then Baltimore became the Ravens. This is all before all of that, and the fact that Pittsburgh is only 5 hours away, so going to home games was sweet, was a treat. Rosemary, hey DC, isn't it great to be blue? Okay, yeah, they're sharing blues. No, not the Steelers. Why? Why are you hating on the Steelers? Why would you do that? Egal goes, I am. Oh wait. Okay, hold on. It's telling me to check my WhatsApp. I knew I didn't. All right, you know, Haz, you got to tell me what fan you are then. I understand. Understand. All right. I appreciate that. You got to tell me who you support. Nah, I got you. I got you, E. Steve, yeah, of course, Vader. People are still watching Vader. It's 2 top clubs in the world. Yeah, okay. Going back to the Real Madrid. Yeah, everybody's gonna be watching. Everybody's gonna be watching. It's not. I mean, the hype isn't really there though. Steve, come on. The hype really isn't what it what it used to be. It's not. But we're gonna check it out. I'm expecting Real Madrid. I don't think there's any surprises there. Curious to what you guys think. Real Madrid have more Champions League than Arsenal have Premier Leagues. That's crazy. It's true, Zane. It is true. It is true because Arsenal have 13. They have 13 league titles. Not even Premier Leagues. I think league titles because Prems, I believe they have 3. Yeah, I think they have 3. Vader, Russell Wilson, or Fields. Hey, both are going to be a huge bonus. And Haas, I'm not talking NFL now. Listen, in the comments, we can go back and forth, or we can link up on one of the socials. But I can't listen. I'm already at 106. This is crazy. Biss, Zane, Arsenal have more Premier Leagues than Oil City and more FA Cups. Try again. This you don't need to do this fight. If you're confident in your club, if you know what they represent, you don't need to do the back and forth. Listen, I'm not. Don't feel threatened for Manchester City. Don't feel threatened. Hopefully, we'll have this battle go down to the final day. I do want this title to be decided on the final day. I think that would be great for the league, and may the best of this season win. This. All right, I'm not gonna do the back and forth. All right, let me see. Lorenzo in the building. Lorenzo goes, I don't get Rivals. They say they don't care. They say they don't care about City, I agree. Yet they talk about every single day. Rivals want 115 to stick. That is very true. Hence the show 115, one question for 15 minutes. In a bid to defend how crap their club is. City moving mountains. This is where I want to talk. And you know what? I'm already been long-winded. There's already been a longer show, so let me give you some more gems. This is where the rivals that are praying, begging, pleading for this 115 to stick, you have every right to do that. But just be prepared for when the 115 don't stick, aren't applied to Manchester City, for you not to continue to shift blame. The whole thing, the whole reason why this has kind of come back full circle. And I love to be able to do this with regards to these shows. The attention should be on your club. The attention should be on your players. The attention should be on your managers to still continue to raise the level. Many want to say, ooh, City winning a 4-peat is really bad. Nah, and I said this on the Football Terrace. City winning a 4-peat then gives the onus to every fan to then go, hey, owners, the levels raised. We need to switch this up. We need to start making moves to try and win back-to-back leagues. We need to start making moves to try and win 3 in a row, 4 in a row. Put that on the owners. Put that on your manager. Put that on the players, and support them as they do that. Not this level of greatness is artificial, can't be done. Raise your level. Raise your level, and allow things to progress. That's it. I know you don't want City to do it. Someone's got to do it. And your managers, your owners, your players haven't had that drive yet. Let us set the standard. Let us set the standard. Oh, love all of the comments. Now, if you haven't, because I haven't said this in a while, if you haven't liked the button on the YouTube, do that right now. Just take a second. Sometimes you forget because in conversation, you're looking at some of the comments, some of the questions, you're following. Take a second. Just go hit the like button. All right. Also, if you're new to the channel, go and sub. If you're on Twitter X, and I appreciate you guys listening to me on Twitter X. Sometimes you have multiple devices. If you're like Steve, you're in the Matrix. You got multiple screens. You got the whole console. You got the center. Go to YouTube. Hit that like button. The subs have been tremendous. I'm so appreciative. I'm doing 2 shows a week pretty much. Tomorrow I'm going to do Why Always Me. That is a long format show, so I'm going to make sure that I'm ready to speak again. But just support the channel. Support the channel. Nice and simple. And I'm going to address every comment. Let me put a star here, and I'm going to go and find the last comment. I'm going to put a star there. And this is what I'm going to end with. Steve goes, that's cool. I'm a Chicago Bears fan. Chicago Bears, I have respect for them. Again, my love for Steelers is very defensive based. Very defensive based. A steel curtain. Chicago Bears, very, very similar in that regard. Hardworking town as well. So I rate that. Haas, man, why are you fighting this? Why are you fighting this with this guy? Guys, you don't have to go back and forth with the amount of FAs and leagues. All right, Biss, what do you got to say here? And we had to pay off stadium debt and couldn't afford to buy the best players. See, hold on, Haas, that's not true. That's the decision that your owners chose to do. They chose to not invest more, but to pay off the stadium the way that they did and not invest in players. Now, if that's the reason for the 20 years of not winning the league, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But the reason why you've had your poor success, and go back and take a second, Biss, because again, there's no emotional here. I'm just talking facts to you. Biss, as an Arsenal fan, go back and see how many times you finished behind City the last 20 years. Every year you didn't finish behind City, okay? Like directly finish behind City, like we were the reason for it. If there were other clubs above you in the standings, that's where the proof is. That's where your problems are. Now, if there are other teams that are finishing above you, that's your problem. Not your quote unquote 115 Manchester City cheats. All right? If that makes sense to you. And hopefully that makes sense. And I like the conversation, man. This isn't hostile, just giving you some facts. Yeah, Pittsburgh's only it's only 5 hours away. Easy drive. Easy drive. I've once done I've left in the morning, caught the game. It was a night game. 4:00 game. Caught the 4:00 game. Afterwards, came back. Same day. It's a nice drive. Them dirty birds, whole lot of flock, Ravens nation. All right. Ravens, another very defensive team. Can't hate on them. But same division. So yeah, no love. No love, Haas. None. Although I respect Ray Lewis was a beast. That's because we FC Bayern are in shambles this year, hence why the hype isn't quite there. Shambles, yes. It's been a rough 2 years for you. It's been a rough 2 years. Okay. My guy, nobody wants you broke as locals at the games. My guy, nobody wants you broke as locals at the game. Okay, I got you. You aren't even what the EPL wants to appeal to. These immigrants are taking over the whole league. So what do you think about that? I'm trying to understand what you mean by immigrants. You talking about ownership? You talking about those attending games? I think the league want as many people, whether it's local, whether it's international. You're using the word immigrants. I'm not sure why, but the league wants to expand. The league wants to be appealing to many. Now we understand that locals, and again, locals are only local geographically, but who they happen to be as a people, or you want to do nationality or origin, that's from all different places. Just happens to be that they happen to be local to England or Manchester or London. I'm not quite seeing your point. Steve, Biss, nobody needs to hear the immigrant content. That's completely irrelevant to football. Yeah, I agree with that. Now, Biss, typical slum. All right. Yeah, I'm not accustomed to that actually in my chat usually. So try and regulate. Let's keep it on football. Igal goes, we should care about City if we want to beat them. Igal's right. You want it. You don't necessarily need to care about the story, about anything off of the pitch. That stuff, again, as a rival, you don't necessarily need to care about. But in terms of on the pitch, quality for quality, pursuing wins, pursuing trying to win the league, that's where you should have any ops' attention. But the other stuff, like again, I banter all the time. The fact that Amazon, or sorry, the fact that Netflix had the Together Trouble, you guys shouldn't care about that. All the extra stuff, you guys shouldn't care about that. But the fact that you have to be of a certain quality to win this league is where your attention should be, 100%. All right, Steve. Steve doesn't care about the 115. I kind of care about the 115 because I'm looking forward to when they are no longer a thing, no longer discussed. Now the latest is that they want to say they're throwing out the rumors that there's going to be a settlement, that it's going to get resolved, and fans won't know the true story. If the league decide based off of a settlement or based off of the investigations and this quote unquote trial, if they decide that City are not guilty, we will move forward. Whatever the arrangements are to move forward, it is what it is. That's resolution for me. The league saying we are moving forward beyond this, it's now over. That's resolution. I don't need to know the secret sauce. I don't need to know the ingredients. I need to know that you've done your investigation, you've seen the evidence, and you've declared City innocent of 115. We move, plain and simple. Listen, the support has been tremendous. I know off of both platforms, 142 of you. This has been the most that have interacted with my show. It's another reason why I decided to continue speaking longer than I planned. This show is designed, honestly. Let me do a quick reset and remind you guys. But this show is designed to be one question, 50 minutes, 115. All right. One question, 115. One question, 50 minutes. I'm designed to maybe speak 30 minutes, but the conversation's been tremendous. The interaction's been huge. I'm gonna work on a way. I'm gonna work on a way to maybe be a little more interactive beyond the comments being put on screen. But I also need to figure out on when I do that within my workday. And this being a workday, I need to give myself another 30 minutes to be within my workday and prepare for my upcoming meeting. Let me go to these comments really quick. Got Robert in the building. Lewandowski goes, will they ever truly replace me at Bayern Munich? Unfortunately, it looks like Harry Kane is going to break a record in a league that you are in. So I wouldn't say replace, but if he were to remain there for another 3-4 seasons, and he'd have to win a major trophy though, Robert. If he does that, possibly. He could possibly replace you, unfortunately. No. I hear you, Haz. I hear you. It wasn't directed at me. Is Rodri the best player in world football? Ooh, Rodri is the most important player in world football. Hope, I'm telling you, the most important player in world football. Do you understand that this man's gone a calendar year? He's gone a calendar year without suffering a loss. That's how important he is. And the only reason why City have lost this season has been when he's been out, and he's been out due to suspension, and I think maybe injury. That's the only time we've lost. This guy is so important. Now, is he the best player? Really hard to say. He's been at levels the last 2 years. I have to say, like, his composure, his placement, his footballing ability on delivering me that UCL last season, tremendous. And let's not forget the season before with the comeback. He was that second goal. He was that second goal, man. He's so clutch, so important. Best player, I don't know if I can say that right now, but he's on the short list, 100%. No. It's all good. Busy. No one cares about the 115 Chargers. People just say it to annoy City fans. And the thing is, they can say it to try and annoy, but it doesn't annoy. I just designed a show all around it. 115, one question, 15 minutes. What am I annoyed for? We love the growth. Nah, I hear you. And the pause is appropriate. Respect, y'all. Respect. I see what you did there. Haas, get it, Vader. Great show, bro. Listen, I'm trying to build it. I haven't hit 1K. I try to do my thing. I do have to build this in within a workday, so it's not like some others. Even the time zone. The time zone makes it a little crazy as well. You know what? And it's me trying to. I'm trying to interact with the people that mess with me, right? I was told early. Told early. And do I take credit for this? I don't think I can take credit for this because I know I heard it from an elder. It's like I don't go where I'm tolerated, right? I don't seek to be somewhere just where I'm tolerated. I go where I'm celebrated. So this time zone and me trying to mess with this 5 hour difference between obviously Toronto and the UK. Y'all mess with me, have great conversations. Twitter X people, we've had some fantastic conversations. I can know a lot of your voices. I don't know if you have faces for TV. I don't know. Some of you don't have your Abbeys. You definitely have good voice. Maybe you have faces for radio, but the interaction on Twitter X is why I've been messing around and have my show on YouTube and Twitter X. But I need you. If you mess with me on Twitter X, take a second, go to YouTube, hit the sub button, help me grow this channel. I know you guys are all on YouTube. Also, just find my show, Vader Games TV. One question. Actually, it's just 115, but one question, 15 minutes. And hit that like button. All right. Hit me with a comment if you missed this and you're watching it at a later time. Steve, showing love to Yigal. Yigal Talks Football Gang in the building. Much respect and appreciated. Listen, if you haven't subbed to Yigal's channel, and his channel is tremendous. I do a feature on there twice a week with vibes from the six. Definitely check it out. He's got a great panel of other rivals on it, and we talk ball. But go and subscribe to his channel. Haas in the building, laughing out loud. My guy called me Haas, not fine. Listen, I like the end, and I do things different. You're gonna know it's unique. You come on to Vader Games TV and Haas. That's it. Edison, Rodri, or Busquets. Why are you doing this? Let me be honest with you. I don't like the so over so. I don't like the this player greater than this player, or that conversation. I don't like. Now, Rodri, Busquets, should they be sitting at the same table enjoying a meal, 5-star restaurant? 100%. Either of them sitting down, the other one saying, "Hey, let's talk over a meal." Rodri, Busquets, 100%. Both quality. Rosemarie, Vader, 115 is in the bin. God bless Manchester City. They need something, Rose. They need something. Like, why is my club so bad? Oh, it's because of Manchester City and the 115. No, because other clubs are above you. What's the excuse for them? What's the excuse? And then, listen, am I going to direct this at Arsenal? Not necessarily, but for those of you that are like, City, 115, well, did 115 cause you to finish 8th? Twice. Did 115 cause you to finish 5th? Who were the clubs above you at that time? That's where your attention needs to lie. That's where it needs to go. TJ in the building. Speaking of an Arsenal, TJ, I do a show with him. American Waffle. Quality show. Usually on Mondays. This week was on Tuesdays. Check that out. For you over in the UK across the pond, it is a late night. The show doesn't pop off until 1 a.m. your time. But if you don't catch it live, definitely catch it the following day. It's definitely worth it. Great panel show. TJ, what does TJ have to say? You should probably do more of these YouTube shows. Thank you, TJ. hopefully you got the notification button on and you know when I'm live. I've been doing the 115 shows the past 2 weeks, I believe. Yeah, I think this is my third episode. And Why Always Me? I try and do once a week, long format. But I'm talking just as long on this show. Maybe it's the time. Do I switch it? Do I switch it up to start later and have more of you in the mix? Or let me mess around with that. Let me mess around with the analytics. Ha's in the building. If you build it, they will come. It's true, but also I want it. I'm big on uniqueness. I'm huge on different styles, different formats. All right. So my whole thing is I like you guys to know what I'm discussing, obviously, and I like you to know what's up and coming. All right. You get to decide on what my next show is. Haas, I'm telling you. Haas and everybody in the chat. All right. So why Arsenal winning is trouble for everyone else. I can break that down for you. 50 minutes. I say 50 minutes. That's 50 minutes. I guess me speaking, and then it'll be interacting. Now, if it's like this show, it'll probably go a lot longer. But we can discuss why Arsenal winning is trouble for everyone else. And when I say everyone else, I mean everyone else but Manchester City. Yes, yes, United. Yes, Arsenal. It'll be trouble for all of you. Chelsea. Ooh, Spurs. Yee. Aston Villa. All of you London turf war clubs. It's not looking good if Arsenal were to win this league title. Why United fans have been the problem since Sir Alex Ferguson. I discussed that today. I broke it down. It's really logical. You guys want change? You guys want change for your club? You guys want change for your success? You guys want change for your owners? Simple. It's simple. You cut it off. Follow the money. They talked about that in The Wire. Follow the money. The money starts with you, United fans. The money starts with you, all of you content creators. If the only thing available was poor talking points, criticism, demand for change, instead of, ooh, we happen to draw against Liverpool. Ooh, we got our win and are advancing in the FA. Oh, we just had amazing rumors on incoming transfers. Oh, we just signed so and so. We just got this increased contract. Oh, we just got sponsorship increase from blah 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 Adidas. If you want them out, negative, 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 negative. Just nag. Just be a nag. That's it. But if there's praise, if there's appreciation, if there's hype, if there's just liking some of the movements, they ain't going nowhere. They know they got you. They know they got you. If this show was later, after hours, maybe I'm no hitch, but I do give relationship advice. If this was a late night show, in terms of maybe talking to a more adult crowd, I'd explain. You kind of see this in relationships. Yeah, you do some bad, but if you do some good, they stick around. United, Glazers, they keep doing just enough for you guys to be mute, be silent, be pacified. You fans have the choice to make the change. Where am I with the comments? How's shouting out TJ in the building? Much love. DC wants to let me know. Appreciate it. Great show. Thank you. And I know you guys are messing with me. I always appreciate it. All right, I'm going through these comments. Sorry for the break. Edison. Vader doesn't want to choose between Busquets and Roger because he will upset Pep. I'll be honest with you, Edison. I'm trying to get a sit down with Pep. I have some moving the microphone. I have some very effective plans in terms of like player movement, some attacking positions, and some attacking philosophies that I want to share with him. I think that can get the maximum, that can get more out of Holland, more out of our attack, and still show the control that we need. So yeah, I don't want to get on his bad side. But to choose between Busquets and Rodri's career is not over. It's not over. So that's why I'm a little chill. I'm a little chill on making this decision right now. Don't make me do that. Hold on here. What are these guys saying? Egal in the building. Egal just said, I just finished work. It's a better time. No, much appreciated. So he just finished work. So yeah, it's probably like, yeah, it's like almost 6 out there. Um TJ goes, don't let me and Egal win this league. Listen, the couple reasons why I don't want Arsenal to win this league, and I'm going to talk about it in detail on the next show. And it has nothing to do with the Arsenal fan base, right? It has nothing to do with the Arsenal fan base, but it does happen to do with what this league would look like moving forward after Arsenal have a taste of winning. That's where I'm going to be coming from. Haas goes, history isn't on Arsenal's side. It isn't. It isn't. But they've been progressing. They've been progressing very well. Rose, TJ Warren TV. Don't worry, you won't. Rose is letting you know, TJ. You won't be winning this league. Egal, you won't be winning this league. Not this year as it looks right now. One game at a time. I got Fulham. I got to deal with them. Going to be an important game. I do like the last game of the season being at home. But this game against Fulham is going to be a tough one, man. And that's no playing the underdog. Fulham's going to be a tough game. That's real. God, this guy takes ages between each comment. I'm sorry. I'm being interactive. Relax. TJ in the building. We'll see. We will see. No, much appreciated. Listen, I want to point this out. My show 115 is a brief one question conversation to be able to interact. You give your point of view. You can let me know, Vader, you're talking crap. I disagree. That has nothing to do with the United fans. United fans aren't the problem. If you share a different point of view, you let me know. If you happen to think that it's something else, cool. If you happen to agree, let me know that you agree. Hit that like button is one way of doing it. Commenting post show if you happen to be watching this when I'm not live. That's also understandable. I can't believe my 115 is actually now gone on to be over an hour in terms of a video. That proves in itself, and I've been accused of this many times, to just be a talker. Now, hopefully it wasn't rambling. Hopefully it was pretty on point, good combo. If I happen to be interacting with you in the future, let me know how you like things to maybe tweak or change. I've gotten some great feedback. I've gotten some feedback with regards to my thumbnails, maybe adjust those slightly. I'm going to take that within feedback and see what kind of time's required to also do that as well. And I want to point out that the next question is based off of your votes. I already heard it early. Some of you want me to discuss why Spurs should be studied. Some of you have said Arsenal winning this league. Let's talk about why that is trouble. There will be, as I take down why United fans have been the problem since Sir Alex Ferguson, as that question gets removed from the side, a new one will be popped up there, and we'll get into it moving forward. I want to shout out everybody in the comments. Listen, only on my channel, Haas, that's how you're going to be referred to when you interact with me. Hope you don't mind that. Biss, like back and forth. Listen, we talk football here. No hard feelings, and I understand where you're coming from. TJ in the building, Ops, Egal in the building, Ops, my gal Rose, always appreciative. DC in the building. I'm glad that the time zone was able to work out and you're able to catch the show live. But everybody else, Steve, good looking out. And I know the competition's fierce. This time of day, there's a lot of videos that kind of pop up going live. So the fact that you took time and interact with me is always appreciated. Those of you on Twitter X, please, I'm about to shut it down. I'm about to shut down this video. Before I do that, I'm going to give you about 30 seconds. Go to YouTube right now. Go to YouTube right now. All right. Even if you have to close out of Twitter X, just go to YouTube right now. Find my video, VatorgamesTV. All right, VatorgamesTV 115. See the live. Click on it. Find the like button, the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. All right. I'm going to be doing my next show tomorrow. And my next show, let me put this on screen for you guys. My next show will be, this is my next show. I'm going to talk about all of this on the side on my next show tomorrow. And look at that image. Seriously, look at that image. Holland keeps dunking on you doubters and haters. We're going to be discussing that. So hopefully everything has gone nice and smooth. You guys love the content. Continue to interact with it. I'm Vader Games. This is VatorgamesTV 115. Why Manchester United fans have been a problem since Sir Alex Ferguson. And you guys can go from being the problem to being the solution. It's not doom and gloom. Hopefully you enjoyed my content. I'm Vader Games. I'm going to shut this down. Much love and respect to all of you interacting and being a part of the show. I am out.